if you've been struggling with no contact, today I'm going to be talking about something that might just give you a little peace of mind. Your ex is way more confused than you think. That's right. If you've been sitting there wondering, do they miss me? Are they regretting their decision? Chances are they're actually struggling way more than they're letting on. So stick around, because by the end of the video, you'll see why you might actually be in the stronger position. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. I have a promotion going on, and that is with my app Silencio. If you've downloaded it, or if you download it and you leave a review, not a rating, a review in either the App Store or the Google Play Store, and then you send me a screenshot with that review, in return, I will give you a free copy of my book, No Contact Secrets, which you can find out about at nocontactsecrets.com. It's over 170 pages, so it's not just a little pamphlet. And you can send that screenshot to me via my website, theartoflove.net. And if you too would like to join our army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. Okay, so let's get started. So breakups are messy. And even if your ex was the one to end things, that doesn't mean they're 100% sure. And here's why. We have the grass is greener syndrome. A lot of jumpers think that breaking up will magically solve the problems in the relationship. But once reality hits, loneliness, dating apps, or just missing you, they're going to start second guessing themselves, which of course is great news for you. They're also going to be wrestling with pride. Even if they miss you, admitting that they made a mistake feels like a blow to their ego. So instead, they'll act cold or indifferent to cover up their confusion. And this is why you can't respond to breadcrumbs thinking that they're using the breadcrumbs as a way to get back with you. Most of the time, they just want to see if they have access to you. People hate changing their minds once they decide to break up with someone. But if they're having second thoughts and they start to miss you, the missing you will usually win out over the pride of not wanting to change their mind. So again, more good news. It's all good news today. And then also, emotions lag behind actions. So just because someone says they're done, it doesn't mean their feelings shut off overnight. Their brain might be saying, move on, but their heart's still catching up. Now, remember that they didn't start dating you or marry you just to eventually dump you. That was never part of the plan, at least not if they're mentally healthy. So they've been struggling with this decision for a while, and even when they do finally pull the trigger and break up with you, there's still a part of them that's not sure that they're making the right decision. But they were at least 51% sure, as I've said many times before. Otherwise, they would not have broken up with you. So they're going through their own emotional turmoil, even if it's not showing. And they most likely don't have a grand plan as to what they're going to do after the breakup. They just know they didn't want to be with you anymore. They'll also be confused if you go into no contact and stay there. Most jumpers assume the dumpee is going to resist or chase them after the breakup, especially if you were anxious in the relationship. So when you start to behave the total opposite of what they expected, they'll be confused. They'll wonder what's going on. Perhaps you weren't as into them as they thought you were. Maybe you had someone else on the side. Maybe they've been replaced. Why aren't you chasing them like they expected you to? And all these question marks become a hook that hooks them back into thinking about you and wondering if they made the right decision. You're now unpredictable, and unpredictability is actually attractive. You're mysterious, and mystery is attractive. Now, confusion on the part of your ex often looks like rejection. If they're still rejecting you or giving you hot and cold signals, it's because they're confused. They're still going to act like they don't want to get back together. But because you're looking for any little glimmer of hope, you think that just because they're sometimes coming in hot, that they want to get back together. But then the next day, they go back to being cold, and your hopes are dashed. And this is why we wait for them to say something significant. Now, what are some other signs that they're secretly unsure? So I just mentioned the hot and cold. One day they're texting you, hey stranger, and then the next day they're ghosting. So mixed signals equals mental chaos. The social media games. So posting sad songs, old memories, watching your Instagram story at 2 a.m., or suddenly liking your pictures. They're trying to get your attention without admitting that they want it. Or asking mutual friends about you. If they're just curious how you're doing, yeah, they're not over it. So the bottom line is, if they're acting weird, it's because they feel weird. And here's the best part. Their confusion means that you have the upper hand if you play it cool. Silence speaks louder than words. The more you chase, the more certain they'll feel. But if you focus on you, that's when the doubt creeps in for them. Once they're out of the relief stage that I talked about in my video titled, I believe it was 7 stages dumpers go through, and I'll put the link in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube, they have to face the consequences of their actions. They thought they'd feel better after the breakup, but that's not always the outcome. That's when they start to doubt their decision. But this can only happen if you have been in no contact. So when they're confused, they're going to wonder if they can get you back in case they made a mistake. That's when the breadcrumbing starts. If you respond to the breadcrumbs, they're now sure that you're still there, and they will no longer be confused. One of my clients, her ex kept breadcrumbing her, and with my help, she ignored the breadcrumbs. Unfortunately, she answered the phone when he called, not knowing it was him. And then she went on to make another mistake of being on the phone with him for a long time. Did he say he wanted to get back together at the end of the call? No. Now he's no longer confused, and she feels worse than ever. Not responding to his breadcrumbs was working, but talking to him on the phone gave him all the reassurance he needed to know that she was still there waiting for him. So do not give that reassurance. Make sure they stay in confusion land until they're ready to get back together. And they'll respect you more, because nothing messes with an ex's head like seeing you thrive, because it forces them to wonder, did I mess up? So level up and boss up and take this time in no contact to work on yourself and go after your dreams. Your energy is always better spent on you instead of decoding their mixed signals. But either way, you win. How, you might ask? Well, if they come back, great. But now you're in control. You've shown them that they can break up with you, and you're not going to fall apart and chase them. If anything, you're going to survive and thrive. And if they don't come back, well, you've already moved on to bigger and better things. You know, at the end of the day, breakups are tough, but knowing that your ex is probably just as confused, if not more, than you are, that's great news. So if you've been depressed, cheer up. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you noticed your ex acting unsure? What have they done? Leave a comment below. And if this video or podcast helped you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you would like my help to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net/coaching, and we will send you the rates. They are not on the website. If you're listening to this as a podcast and you want to help the show, then just download this episode. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.